Hello everyone, welcome back to Anmoll Astrology channel. Now today's video is about Bhrigu point through Nakshatras. Earlier I have made a video where I discussed about how to finalize or how to know about your career through your Bhrigu point, which is also called as your destiny point. This point actually tells you what you are destined to do in this life. So career is something that we over and over again, every day we fulfill some part of our karma through our career. That is something that we do continuously. So that's why Phregu point, the destiny point, actually reflects what we are meant to do here. So some people can reach their Phregu point as early as 12 years, 13 years, or 18 years old, but they can also encounter their Bhrigu point as late as 60 or 80 years. So I am just here to make you understand what is your destined profession using your Bhrigu point. But before diving into the nakshatra of Bhrigu point, you first need to analyze your chart based on your second house, second lord placement, sixth house, sixth lord placement, 10th house, and 10th lord placement, because these three are the Artha houses and they are going to tell you what would make you generate your money. The second house shows where your money is going to come from. Sixth house shows what do you do in your daily life. So it was going to tell you the nature of your work and repetition that is going to happen in your work. What are you going to do repetitively every day? And then the 10th house is going to show you the environment of your work, and your environment is going to tell you what are your skills that you're going to present, outside, out in the society. What are the skills, or what is the image that you'll have in the public, right? So these three houses are very important. Then the queen number, as per the numerology, that means the total of your date of birth, is very important so as to know your career. When you have different set of dates or different set of numbers, that is also going to tell you what would be the concerned area, which is going to be your career. And then you need to refer to the karkas of Atmakarka and Amatya Karka. And how Bhrigu point helps is that Bhrigu point is actually the deciding factor. The rest of the factors can tell you, two, three, or four different professions, but Bhrigu point is actually going to focus, or you can say it is going to funnel down your prediction to either one or max to max two professions, and you're going to know about what is your destined profession. Okay. And there I have also made a video of how, when the activations of Bhrigu point comes in, right? So that is actually the timeline when your destiny point gets activated, right? So let's just quickly dive into how to know about your career using Bhrigu point. So all you need to do is just you have to visit my website. So www.anmollastrology.com. I have actually already wrote a blog where I've mentioned all the careers which are associated with each and every nakshatra. So that's why you can easily view the blog and you can know about your career. So we'll go towards the blog section. And then the very first is what is Bhrigu Bindu, and Bhrigu Bindu in different nakshatras. And also I have a similar one, which is what is Bhrigu Bindu and BB in different houses. So when it's about, you can actually, match both of them. Houses also matter and nakshatra also matter, and you can just combine both of them. Okay. So let's just dive into this particular one, right? So I have given the manual calculations that how can you calculate your Bhrigu point, right? So the very first nakshatra, if your Bhrigu point is in the nakshatra of Ashwini, Ashwini is ruled by Ketu. Ashwini is associated with traveling. It is associated with medical profession also, because it talks about healing and Ayurveda. And with Ashwini, you will also see healers. Healers as in Reiki healers or other healers who use their skills of and their knowledge of medicine so as to heal one individual. So there is transportation business that we include in the Ashwini Nakshatra. It could be drivers, it could even be pilots, then train conductors, logistic managers, fleet managers, anything that involves within the criteria of transport that is involved in Ashwini. Sports related occupations, many of athletes that you will see, they are into, do have their Bhrigu point or will also have the dominance of Ashwini Nakshatra. Then coaches, sports agents, referees and umpires, sports analysts, then healthcare practitioners. So for healthcare care practitioners, you need to have moon, you need to have number 2, number 6, which is of moon, which is of Venus, or the number 9 or number 7, which is of Ketu, and number 9 is of Mars. These as your queen number, you need to have them, and only then you'll be able to see that your profession is related to healthcare. Okay, so you just need to match all of this information. It is also related to botanical and agriculture professions, fitness and wellness. You will see a lot of Ashwini people. They are very, fit individuals. They are very much into sports and any gymming and everything. They always, even more than that, you would see Ashwini people to be very health conscious also. They would always want to have a perfect body, perfectly aligned body rather, and that's why they can also be excellent nutritionists, because they would know what should go into the body so that it is toned or it is in a certain way, it is a healthy body. Then it also talks about counseling and specialized healthcare, then racing and adventure sports, jewelry industry also. If suppose you have Bhrigu point in Ashwini and Sun is also there, then it does represent that you can be from a goldsmith family, or you yourself can be a goldsmith, or you can deal into gems and other jewelries. Then promotional and motivational roles also. If there is like Mars is getting involved there, if your queen number is Mercury, number 5, then it is very highly prominent that you can be a motivational speaker or a podcast creator. Then the second one is Bharani Nakshatra. Bharani Nakshatra, we people know that it talks about outworldly things that happen in the world. So it actually, Bharani is also related to birth and death. So birth and death related careers, it can be a gynecologist, fertility clinics. Now you need to see, so as to be a surgeon, you should have Ketu's influence also along with this Bharani Nakshatra. So suppose you have Ketu in the Bharani Nakshatra and along with that you have Bhrigu point, or your Venus is conjunct Ketu somewhere, suppose in the 8th house, in the 12th house, so or in the 4th house as well. So you need to see these alignments as well. But if that is in Bharani Nakshatra, you can be into birth and death related careers, child care and nurturing careers like nanny, babysitting, nursery school teachers, daycare workers, child psychologists. So a person can be into that. If suppose there is a conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn along with Bhrigu point in the nakshatra of Bharani, then also there's high possibility that a person is child psychologist. Then amusement and entertainment for children, tobacco, tea and coffee industries, culinary and hospitality industries, then film and entertainment industry, photography and modeling, biology sciences, agriculture and horticulture, exotic nightclub industry also. If suppose there is Rahu conjunct, then it also talks about exotic nightclub industry. Suppose you have Saturn and Rahu conjunction, right, along with Venus, because Venus is the ruler of Bharani, or you have Saturn and Rahu conjunction in the sign of Aries, then also you can have some nighttime profession which could be related to either surveillance or nightclub industry. Nightclub industry, DJ, bartenders, club managers, security personnel. So these can be part of your profession. Then the third one is Krittika Nakshatra. So Krittika Nakshatra is ruled by Sun, and it comes into the sign of Aries and Taurus. So if you have Krittika Nakshatra, you will always see with Krittika Nakshatra and all the nakshatras of sun, a person wants to have their independent work. Either they want to have independent work where they are at the highest authority, or they would want to go into some profession where they are actually at a, they are the authority or they are at the highest authority, like government jobs. So you will see Kritika people always, they look for government jobs, or they want a very stable career where they're also very respected. So legal and judicial careers are seen through Kritika Nakshatra. Medical careers are also seen through Kritika Nakshatra. In the Aries sign, it's more of surgery because Kritika represents sharp scissors, knives, and on the Taurus side, Kritika can be associated with cosmetology. It can also be associated with the other surgeons, surgeons who basically beautify your beauty in certain way. Then it is also associated with martial arts, weaponry, fire related professions, sports involving precision and skills, creative arts using fire based possessions like jewelries, making jewelries, glass makers, and also I've seen candle makers. Then leadership and authority, they always want to have leadership and authority, definitely. Rehabilitation careers, addiction counselors, rehabilitation specialists, dietitians, smoking cessation therapists, self improvement and assertiveness. So they are also life coaches, they are also motivational speakers. Then personal care and grooming, tailoring and needlework, mining and prospecting. And they also can have saloon related business on the both sides, on Aries and on Taurus as well. Clay and ceramic work, right? Then culinary arts, furnace and tool making. So all of these professions come under the nakshatra of Kritika. So if you have your Kritika nakshatra as your Bhrigu point ruler, then you can look into these professions. Then Rohini nakshatra, that is ruled by moon and falls in the sign of Taurus. So food and agriculture is a part of this particular nakshatra. Then arts and entertainment. Most of all, whenever Rohini is seen, people usually say that this is the Rohini is all about, luxury, all about luxury and show off, Venus related things, right? But you would see Rohini actually represents arts. It's not just luxury of Venus, but it represents arts, it represents food. These two are very, very important factors. Rohini also represents when you represent your face. So makeup artists can also be seen through Rohini. Rohini also is a nakshatra associated with healing because it is ruled by the planet moon. So significant planets in this nakshatra can also represent that either you deal, if suppose there is Mercury in Rohini, you might deal in the objects which are related to healing. Suppose you are a stone seller, you are a gemologist, you sell gems, or you sell those, we have that healing stones, we have products related to that, we have merchandise related to that. So that could also be Rohini. Then food culture. If suppose a person has a restaurant, that is also subject to Rohini. Or a food chain, that is also subject to Rohini. Then arts and entertainment, fashion and cosmetics. Rohini also is very much about, since it is Taurus, it represents your face, right? So it is going to be about any cosmetic that is being applied on your face. Okay. Then jewelry and gemstones, I told you that. Interior designers, finance and banking. Rohini people, since it's the natural ruler, natural nakshatra that falls into the second house, that's why it is most of all related with finances as well. You know, with suppose Venus in Rohini or Venus Rahu in Rohini, Venus Rahu Jupiter conjunction in Rohini, you can even be a consultant of how do you spend your money, how do you present a good lifestyle. So nowadays social media managers are also seen through Rohini Nakshatra's prominence. Then transportation more of like drivers, pilots, train conductors, because what do? They actually drive luxury vehicles. Like drivers, they, if they have that in Rohini, they are going to drive luxury cars like Mercedes, BMW, even more luxurious than that. Then aeroplanes also, private jets also, so you can be a pilot to them as well. Then business, these are excellent entrepreneurs who do their work in a very beautiful manner, in a very presentable manner. Tour Tourism is also seen through Rohini. Automobile industry, oil and petroleum industry, textile industry, shipping industry, food production, packaging and distribution, everything related to food. Either it's a restaurant or it's a manufacturing of food or it's just distribution of food, anything related to food. Aquatic products and liquids also. Liquids like suppose hair color, hair shampoo, everything related to hair as well. That is also part of Rohini. Then Mrighasira. Mrighasira is the nakshatra ruled by Mars, and the sign that it involves is Taurus and Gemini. So Taurus is more about finer products like liquor, like alcohol. It could even be anything which is in drinking form and is exotic in nature. It could also be show pieces. It could also be interior designing, like show in, creating a very aesthetic design towards beautifying your home. Not, I would say, architectural, but because for that you would need the influence of Saturn as well. Mrighashira, to some extent, I've also seen lawyers with Mrighashira. I've seen excellent psychics and astrologers with Mrighashira. Then Gemini side of the Mrighashira specifically, they are good communicators, they are podcast creators, they are YouTubers, and you would also see travelers and explorers, then psychic and astrologers, education related things. With Mrigashira, you'll also see clerical and commentary because of the sign of Gemini. It is most of all about communication and multimedia. With Mrigashira, you'll see artisans and creative professions. Anything and everything related to art and creativity. Be it be dancing, you'll see Mrigashira people, they have interest in dancing, in music specifically, instruments also. They are excellent instrument users. Okay, then gemstones also, earth related products also, there can be miners also, textile and garment industry also. And these are actually the people who, using their own hands, they actually make a dress, would be into that textile. They would actually do them by themselves. They have extreme good skills that they have with their hands. Then animal care, sales and advertising, administration and management, landscaping and agriculture, real estate and navigation. Then Ardra Nakshatra. So Ardra Nakshatra is ruled by Rahu and the sign is Gemini. Most of the times nowadays, you're going to see with Ardra Nakshatra, you will see people who are in IT profession, information technology, and under that there are so many criterias. You can have you know software developers, software creators, software designers, any one of them. UI, UX, UFX, I don't know what so professions nowadays are using AI, using other technicalities. So you will see Ardra people to be most innovative with the technical aspect. They would use computers, they would use technology so as to beautify something. Okay, so electrical and electronic engineering, electronic and computer industry, music and sound engineering, linguistics and literatures. With Ardra, you would also see people who know more than one language and may, and since if they have Jupiter, suppose, or Mercury or Jupiter Mercury conjunction, they can even be teachers of language. They can also be novelists, excellent novelists, right? And after that, photography and special effects, gaming and virtual reality, mental sports, science and medicine, food processing and production. Okay, since we also have medicine here, Mrighasira is about finding out the soma. Sorry, not Mrighasira, we were talking about Ardra. I'm sorry. So I wanted to say this about Mrighasira, said that Mrighasira is also related to medicine because it is about finding out the medicine. What could be the antidote? So it can be the advisors also, it can also be the doctors. Then we are on Ardra. Ardra can actually be Ayurvedic healers because Ardra is associated with the Rudra Roop of Lord Shiva. Then biotechnical technology and chemistry, investigation and analysis, lightning and radiology. You would see that Ardra people are very curious individuals and they would want to always dive into technical professions. Okay. Then Punarvasu Nakshatra, the nakshatra associated with hospitality, real estate, the nakshatra associated with resorts, giving one a massive luxury experience in life, the experience of royalty. So you would see maximum number of hotel owners are in Punarvasu Nakshatra. Okay, they are writers, they are visionary, they have visionary professions, they are related to travel and tourism because this Punarvasu Nakshatra is associated with Lord Ram, and Lord Ram actually had to go for a 14 years of exile to a very distant place in jungles. So that's why these people also are related to travel and tourism because of this story. And this travel and tourism could be at isolated or jungle like places where there's a lot of greenery. Trades and sales, hospitality and construction, education and philosophy, trade and history, innovative professions like communication jobs, innovators, radio industry workers, courier companies, postal service workers. And I've even seen Punarvasu Nakshatra people to be associated with agents, agents who send you overseas. Those are also related to either Punarvasu or Swati. Then mail order and home delivery business, property and maintenance. With Punarvasu, you would also see builders. And you will also see that with Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra most prominently. Then archery and target shooting, hand-related sports as well. Then the next nakshatra is Pushya Nakshatra. Pushya is related to dairy and food industry. It is the planet, it is the nakshatra ruled by the planet Saturn, and it falls into the sign of Cancer. So anything related to comfort, happiness, and convenience, vehicles, that is what is associated with Pushya. Then dairy farmers, food producers, drink producers, caterers, hotelers, then restaurant workers, food merchants, drink merchants, everyone is included in Pushya. Pushya are also excellent political people, excellent politicians and leaderships, religious and spiritual professions. So you see a lot of people, not a lot of people, but there are certain gurus that we have. They have their own, what do we call it, sanstha, or they have their own ashrams that they take forward and help forefather people, those can also have either Punarvasu or Pushya Nakshatra. Then it is psychology and counseling. Then we have, just a second, then we have management and charitable organizations, river and lake related jobs, because that is associated with the sign of Cancer, and Pushya is in the heart of Cancer. Then education and childcare, artisans and creative professions, real estate and agriculture, because Pushya is about building a home, since the nakshatra lord is Saturn and the sign lord is Moon, and it is the sign of Cancer. It's the fourth house. So that's more about real estate and construction of a home as well. Then we have Ashlesha Nakshatra. So Ashlesha Nakshatra people, Ashlesha is about medicine. It's all about either medicine, alcohol, drugs, everything related to in this area, related to chemicals, essential oils. So everything related to that comes under the nakshatra of Ashlesha. Dangerous substances and chemical industries, drug related professions, political and manipulative roles, right? Psychological and criminal professions, adult and illicit professions, career involving reptiles, medical and veterinary professions. I'm sorry, I'm always bad at pronouncing this word. I don't know why. Wildlife and law enforcement, sports and wellness, esoteric and psychological professions. Okay. And with Ashlesha, I have also seen very Akashic record healers as well, or the people, who go into that past life regression. These are those people actually, because they have the Kundalini awakening. If you have not seen my video on of Venus and Ashlesha Nakshatra, then you must go and see that. You will actually understand a lot about Ashlesha Nakshatras there. Then Magha Nakshatra. Magha is what? It is the throne. It is the royal seat of authority. So Magha people always at the highest authority. They could be doing business because that is where you have the highest authority, or they could be into their inherited business, or business that is being followed in their lineage. Or Magha can also be associated with this thing, that the profession that one of their parents or one of their lineage, people in the lineage have followed, their forefathers have followed, they are going to follow that particular profession as theirs. Right. So we come to high level administration and leadership work, legal and judicial professions. More of, you will see judges, and especially, when you see a judge, there has to be Virgo sign also, because they have to give their critical judgment. And also Hasta Nakshatra. These two things are also very much important to have along with Magha if you want to be a judge. Otherwise, it would call for advocacy or being lawyers. Political and historical professions, communication and performances, tradition and museum professions, because I did talk about in the Nakshatra series, Venus through Nakshatra series, that they love making their home look like a museum. So that's why they're also, these people are antique collectors. So they always want to collect things and keep at their home. So they are very good with, museum. They have a lot of knowledge about history and products. They are very good archaeologists. I think that's what we call it, archaeologists. Museum professions. Then occult and esoteric professions, archaeology, see, we have it here, and ancient knowledge. Okay, let's just drink some water. It's like a lot of talking here. And we are still just on 11th number, and we have 27 nakshatras to cover. Now, sorry, Purva Phalguni Nakshatra. So Purva Phalguni Nakshatra, products and industry related to women. See, Purva Phalguni is all about photography, modeling, and things related to Venus, things related to cosmetics and women. So everything. related to that is going to fall in Purva Phalguni. But one thing you do not know is Purva Phalguni is related to entertainment business as well. Purva Phalguni is also related to fitness because that's about the body. Purva Phalguni is totally about your body, what appearance that you give out. Okay. Then gemstone and jewelry industry, entertainment and beauty, teaching and fitness, marriage and childbirth also. They are excellent politicians also. Dating and biologist. Yes, dating apps are also of someone who is in have who has Purva Phalguni Nakshatra. And with Purva Phalguni Nakshatra, there are a lot of, if that is afflicted, they can also be pimps. They can also be, people who make those videos, those nasty videos. Okay. Leisure and tourism, incenses and toiletries, then textile and secretarial jobs, animal training and government. Right? Then we have Uttara Phalguni. Uttara Phalguni, although it is associated as a nakshatra, which is the nakshatra of matchmakers, but Uttara Phalguni also talks about business contracts. So it is a contractual nakshatra. I have actually seen people working on contracts in India that is not very much there, but outside India you would see, like I have mostly talked to people who are based in, who have their work in London, US. They actually work on contract basis, so those people more so have Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra. Now the nature of what type of contracts that they take on, that depends that in which particular sign it is going to be. Either it is a creative project, then it is going to be Leo. If it is something which is more technical in nature, more detail oriented in nature, then it is going to be Virgo. So creative arts and industry and entertainment, management and leadership, religious and advisory roles, international and diplomatic careers, financial and advisory professions. Now, one more thing that you need to know is that this nakshatra is ruled by sun. So, of course, the authority should be good. It is either going to be the sole authority or the authority at the top. Then Hasta Nakshatra. Hasta Nakshatra, anything related to details and where you use your hand to write or do something like instruments, like, carving on, suppose, or designing something, instruments, or you can say jewelry designers, all of them are Hasta. Hasta people are also very much associated with accounts. It is Chitra also, but it is Hasta also with accounts. So, dexterous and manual labor, creative writing and entertainment. And with Hasta Nakshatra, you would also see a lot of stand-up comedians. And especially I've seen with the Saturn in Hasta or Mercury in Hasta. Excellent communicators and excellent people, especially if third house is also associated. Very good sense of humor. Okay, then martial arts and inventors, publishing and printing, gambling and financial markets, craftsmanship and trade, administrative and support roles, chemical, textile and food industries, personal grooming and amusement, sales and illicit activities. Whenever Hasta Nakshatra is afflicted, you would see magicians, you would see thieves, very professional thieves rather. Okay. Then Chitra Nakshatra. Chitra associated with editing and creating something innovatively. AI profession is something that I am telling you Chitra has generated. Okay, so Virgo and Libra, these are the two signs. Chitra is ruled by Mars. So the professions which will be associated are special abilities and versatility. Business experts, interior designers, jewelry makers, all types of craftsmanship and artisans. Nowadays, video content creators also are part of Chitra. Then fashion and cosmetic industry, media and arts, specialized knowledge and design, writing and theater, music and advertising. These people have such a brilliant sense of music. And it's not, see, when I talk about music, consider the Geminis to have classical music interest. Sagittarius's old soul music interest. But Chitra Nakshatra specifically, be it be Virgo side, be it be Libra side, these people are into beatboxing. These people are into the beats, the sounds, that the vibrations that are there with Mars. That is what they are keen of. That is what is their interest area. Okay. So they are very good with advertising. They are very good with sales as well. Then Swati Nakshatra. Swati Nakshatra, the nakshatra of business, the nakshatra of negotiations, the nakshatra of business contracts, and also the nakshatra of travel. So Swati is associated with a lot of air hostesses, pilots, anyone who is out there up in the air is Swati. Okay, so business and trades, it is the nakshatra of trade actually. Then sports and music, research and technology. Also with Swati, you would see the people who run marathon or who are into running related profession, and they are athlete into marathon or running. Then sports and music, research and technology, government and public service, aviation and transportation, speech and communication. Now I remember one more thing. Swati is also highly associated with lawyers, not judges specifically, but lawyers, advocates. Computer and softwares, flexibility and ingenuity, adventure sports and education, legal and diplomatic careers. Diplomats are also part of this nakshatra. Then hosting and entertainment. That is also Swati. Then we have Vishakha nakshatra. Vishakha nakshatra falls in the sign of Libra and also in the sign of Scorpio. Vishakha is actually the split branch. It is a nakshatra which is associated with highly knowledgeable individuals. So Vishakha can also generate people who are highly knowledgeable, or it can also generate advisors and counselors, therapists, because what therapists need to do, they need to deal with people who are either going through some psychological difficulty or are in I don't know what's the exact name that we call it, but there is also a term where a therapist deals with people with split personality. So that is also what Vishakha talks about. So it is also associated with, more so Scorpio side is associated with liquor and alcohol also. So alcohol and liquor industry, manual labor, fashion and entertainment, speech and broadcasting, politics and public service, sports and physical effort, ideology and religious groups, military and security, arts and criticism, critic and also criminal activities. Vishakha is actually a very, very heavy nakshatra to deal with, to be honest. And rather, I would say all the nakshatras of Jupiter are like that. The Purva Bhadrapada also, and even Punarvasu. Punarvasu is still a little bit normalized nakshatra, but other two are very, very intense nakshatras that one would deal with. So that's why these people can be into intense professions. So that's why military and security is also there. And also people who have ideology, who have, ideology and religious group, cult and ideology fanatics. These are actually, if you see some people who just take actions based on their ideology and are too opinionated, too fixed individuals, that is what you will see with Vishakha prominence. Okay. Then you need to see Anuradha nakshatra ruled by Saturn and falls into the sign of Scorpio. It's a water sign. It is associated with Saturn. It it talks about innovation. Anuradha people, they are tech freak. Everything which is new out there, which is a technical thing. Suppose there's a new laptop. Suppose Apple is launching their new iPhone 16. These are going to be the people who are going there to take, get their hands on those things the very first time. And they, what they do is they go on exploring the technology, they go on opening the technology even. So these people can, self, if suppose their laptop is not turning on, they would just open it and they'll try to correct it. So Anuradha people are actually very innovative. Okay, and they are very tech freak also. Then hypnosis and psychic professions is also seen through Anuradha. Through Anuradha, you would see excellent psychologists, you would see excellent astrologers. Okay, since it is the sign of Scorpio. Then night duty or cinema related professions, music and arts, management and industry, counseling and psychology, science and mathematics, exploration and mining, factory and industrial work, diplomacy and international relationships. Okay, and group activities also. So all of this is part of Anuradha. Then we have Jyestha Nakshatra. Jyestha Nakshatra is associated with whenever you want to manage other people's money, or you use other people's money and either act as a portfolio manager or act as an insurance agent, or you act as a commission worker. Jyestha is also represented with numbers. So Jyestha also represents government jobs related to statistics and related to numbers also. So policing and security, government and administration, media and communication, occult and criminal activities, environmental and care professions, medical and physical professions, technology and telecommunication. All these are going to be part of this Jyestha Nakshatra. This nakshatra is ruled by Mercury and falls in Scorpio. That's why it's more about something which is hidden. The information, the technology, the technical aspects which are hidden, that is associated with Jyestha. Then we have Moola Nakshatra. Moola Nakshatra is the nakshatra of either surgeons, either educationists, researchers, people who go into research work. I have also seen Moola Nakshatra people to be associated with the dentistry. So they are dentists also. I've also seen Chitra with dentist. With Shravana, we have actually not gotten into Shravana, but with Shravana, you will see the ENT specialists, and you would also see the child specialists. So, pediatricians also. Okay, so Moola is also related to healing and medical professions. It is shamans, medicine men, healers, doctors, dentists, those who administer poison shots and vaccines. Law enforcement and investigations, research and science, mortuary, morgue and all, and forensics, or oratory. That's why I told you it's related to the teeth also, or oral health also. It is also related to public speaking. So they are public speakers, mass leaders, rock musicians, debaters, right? And then agriculture and selling. Agriculture, why? Because Moola represents the roots which is way deep beneath the ground. So all the vegetables that we get through the ground, those are also associated. That's why agriculture is also a part of Moola. And I have seen people having their Bhrigu point or destiny point in the nakshatra of Moola. I've seen they have their family background, or they have their family land which they use for agriculture purposes, and they can either sell them, or they just take it as a part of their daily routine, just taking care of them and then expanding them, something like that, right? Political, then security and physical profession. Moola individuals are actually excellent detectives. So you'd see detective profession from Moola as well. Then political and ideological professions, mining industry also, gold diggers, treasure hunters, mining, coal industry, petroleum industry. This all is Moola. Psychological spirituals. I've also seen people having Bhrigu point in Moola. They are psychologists who deal with addictive individuals, people who are struggling with their addictions. So Moola also represents addictions, right? So investigation and destruction, equine and sports. Equine, I guess that's how it's pronounced. So this video can also be about mistakes on my pronunciation. And I'm not going to edit this part, remember? Right? Next. Purva Ashara Nakshatra. Purva Ashar Nakshatra. That's the nakshatra of strategist people. Strategist. So strategical, the most strategical minded people are Purva Ashar. Okay. And also, this talks about luxury, resorts, hotels, traveling near water, near nature, everything, marine world, all this water, cruise ship, all of them is Purvashar. Purvashar people know how to give you luxury. They know how to give you experience of lifetime. They are so luxurious people. You would see them, if you want to see a person spend and enjoy, don't see a Leo. Go watch a Purva Shad Nakshatra individual. You would know how to spend money on experiences. So, marine, in entertainment and public speaking, excellent debaters they are, Purva Shad people. Whenever, just call them for a debate, they are up for it. Creative arts, poets, writers, artists, painters, management and administration, beauty and personal care, adventure and aviation, psychologists and spiritualists, amusement and leisure, industrial and processing, warfare strategies, water and liquid. So with Purvashar, you will also see those those high end alcohol brands that you see. Those are selling that liquid. That is Purvashar. High end luxury perfumes or alcohol liquor. Next would be Uttarashada. Uttarashada maximum number of times is associated with politicians because they are the undefeatable ones. It is associated with the teachers, principals, people who have their own institute, own college, who own this educational, some educational institute. Okay. And they can also be the leaders of educational, not educational, religious groups. So religious and counseling profession, legal and government, military and defense, that's more on the, actually it's on both the sides, but more on the Capricorn side. Combat, sports and physical training, exploration and pioneering, businessman and management, environmental and wildlife. With environmental and wildlife, you'll see that in Ashlesha Nakshatra also. Construction and industry, sports, holistic and medical, then authority and ethics. So all these professions are going to come into, I think I've not written teachers, it is there, counselors, psychologists, but it is also teachers or principals, whomsoever who runs, even the kindergartens, who run kindergartens or, the preschools or any school which is there to teach someone, that is Uttarashada. Shravana Nakshatra. Shravana is associated with counseling. It is, I told you, it is related with the children. So any profession related to children, even if you are trading in the products of children, right? That is also Shravana Nakshatra. So education and academic, entertainment and media, cultural preservation and classical studies, organizational and corporate, counseling and mental health, travel and tourism, hospitality and culinary, medical and healing. Shravana was also Shravana Nakshatra is also related to healers, right? Charitable and social organizations. With Shravana, you would also see the pediatricians, the child psychologists also. Okay, anyone who is associated with children, right? Then Dhanishta Nakshatra. So Dhanishta again has its two sides. One is in the sign of Capricorn, one is in the sign of Aquarius. And Dhanishta is ruled by Mars. So Dhanishta Nakshatra is more so associated with instruments. It is associated with architecture. So in maximum number of architects, you'll see either Dhanishta Nakshatra or Purva Bhadrapada in their charts. Then they are also associated with real estate, and they are also associated with IT profession, so information technology. So entertainment and performing arts, they are excellent musicians, and they also have very good voice for singing. Creative arts, sports and athletes, real estate and design, financial and business transactions, science and technology, military and security, mystical and holistical practices, jewelry and precious metals. Then Satabhishak. Satabhishak is the nakshatra ruled by Rahu and it is in Aquarius. Most of the scientists are the ones you'll see with Satabhishak, or you would see people who are actually scientific in nature and their work is related to finding out something, finding out an innovation which is going to be used towards large group of people. So it is medical and pharmaceutical, drug and alcohol industry. Yes, Satabhishak is very much associated with alcohol. So waste management, illegal and unethical professions like pimps and prostitutes also. That is Satabhishak, that is Purva Phalguni. So a lot of affliction in these particular nakshatras, or even a single affliction of Rahu, Ketu, or maybe Saturn can also create this. Then Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, I told you that's very much associated with bricks, cements, and it is associated with the also construction. It comes under Aquarius and Pisces. So death and mortuary professions, medical and pharmaceutical, extremist and radical professions, creative writing and entertainment professions, psychology and psychiatric, dark and unethical professions, industrial professions, activism and environmentalism, law enforcement, and military. So all of them are Purva Bhadrapada. Specifically, mainly on a general level, you'll see Purva Bhadrapada and you simply know that this person either has a background in construction business, or they are into construction business, or they can be the sellers or traders of cements, bricks, stones, anything which is made of the land or soil. Then Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. This is the nakshatra associated with spiritual people or people who are healers. So spiritual and healing professions, charity and social work. They are counselors, they are shamans, they are healers, they are monks, they are hermits. They are also the ashram workers. They are intellectual and creative professions, writer, musicians, researchers, philosophers, poets. These are also writers, professions requiring extraordinary abilities. You see those people who are just, I've seen most of all people who can connect to the other astral world. Those are also have Uttara Bhadrapada. And tarot card readers, they have Uttara Bhadrapada, they have Satabhishak, they also have Gemini as prominent. That's why they are into um, um, tarot card reading. Okay. So intellectual and creative profession, then jobs requiring patience, insight, and awareness. Low movement and static job like shop clerks, night watchmen, doormen. then historical and librarian professions, wealth and inheritance profession. Okay, the last one we have, and Uttara Bhadrapada is associated with Saturn and it falls into the sign of Pisces. Now, last one would be Revati Nakshatra, ruled by Mercury, and it's the last nakshatra, and it falls into the sign of Pisces. The careers associated are mystical and entertainment professions, which are hypnosis, hypnotists and psychic mediums, creative artists, actors. Um, I have also actually seen lighthouse workers. I have seen traffic policemen, also with Revati. Okay. Then specialized and technical professions like watchmakers, road planners, timekeepers, air traffic controllers, traffic cops, so all of them. Then gemstone, marine industries, because it's all about up in the air. It's foreign, it's overseas, Revati, and it's also related to surveillance as well. Even Shatabisha is related to surveillance. Moola is related to surveillance, right? Then transportation and travel industry, because it's the original 12th house, religious and social institutions, safety and road management. Okay, so this was actually about the professions that you would see for yourself using your Bhrigu point nakshatra. Okay, so I hope this makes sense, and this actually helps you analyze your career to different extents, and through this I hope you guys will be able to understand what lies into your destiny and what career is actually your destined career. Okay, guys, if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And if you guys would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check out the link below, www.anmollastrology.com. And under the reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. And under the unique reading section, you can book a unique reading for yourself. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. Take care.